Recently, a video of Vice President Kamala Harris speaking at a rally has gone viral, not for what she said, but because of a mysterious figure standing behind her with unsettling white eyes that many online are labeling as demonic. This eerie video has sparked intense online debate, with some viewers speculating about supernatural or otherworldly explanations. In the video, Vice President Harris is delivering a speech at a public event, addressing a crowd of supporters. Behind her stands a group of people. As the camera pans across the scene, one person in the background appears to have bright, almost glowing white eyes, starkly contrasting with the other attendees. This unusual detail is visible for several seconds, but it's prominent enough to catch the eye of viewers. After the video was posted online, social media exploded with speculation, and the mysterious figure quickly earned the label of the demon with white eyes. In the heart of Anlong County, located in the southwest region of China's Guizhou province, lies a series of pyramidal structures that have captivated archaeologists, historians, and enthusiasts alike. These pyramids, shrouded in mystery and local folklore, offer a glimpse into the region's ancient past and challenge conventional understandings of China's architectural history. The pyramids in Anlong County first came to the attention of the wider world in the late 20th and early 21st centuries. Local residents had long been aware of these structures, but it wasn't until more systematic archaeological surveys were conducted that their significance became apparent. These surveys revealed a series of large, pyramid-shaped mounds that bore striking similarities to other known pyramidal structures around the world, sparking a surge of interest and speculation. The pyramids of Anlong County are characterized by their distinct stepped design, similar to the style of Mesoamerican pyramids, such as those found in Teotihuacan and Mayan cities. Each pyramid consists of several terraced levels, constructed from layers of earth and stone. These terraces are supported by retaining walls made from large stone blocks, some of which weigh several tons. The largest pyramid in the region, often referred to as the Great Pyramid of Anlong, measures approximately 100 meters in base width and rises to a height of around 90 meters. Many who believe in the pyramid theory have said that the precision and scale of the construction suggest that these structures were built with significant engineering knowledge and labor resources. One prevailing theory about the pyramids of Anlong County is that they served as burial sites or tombs for local elites or leaders. Similar to the pyramids of Egypt and other ancient cultures, these structures may have been built to honor and protect the remains of important individuals. Believers have suggested that excavations could uncover burial chambers and artifacts within some of these pyramids, which would help further support this hypothesis. Some researchers propose that the pyramids may have also served a defensive function. The elevated terraces would have provided a strategic vantage point for monitoring and defending against potential threats. The robust construction of the pyramids, with their thick walls and fortified platforms, suggests that they could have been used as strongholds in times of conflict. The discovery of the pyramids in Anlong County challenges traditional views of ancient Chinese architecture. While China is renowned for its pagodas, palaces, and Great Wall, the existence of pyramidal structures indicates a diversity of architectural styles and influences that have yet to be fully explored. This finding prompts a re-evaluation of the cultural and technological exchanges that may have occurred between ancient China and other civilizations. The pyramids of Anlong County are still relatively understudied compared to other archaeological sites in China. Future research efforts are crucial to uncovering more about these mysterious structures. Advanced technologies, such as ground-penetrating radar, 3D mapping, and radiocarbon dating, can provide more detailed information about the construction techniques, age, and usage of the pyramids. Collaborative efforts between local authorities, international researchers, and academic institutions can help to ensure that the pyramids are studied comprehensively and preserved for future generations. Public interest and awareness can also play a vital role in protecting and promoting these archaeological treasures. Online discussions have been ongoing on the source of the peculiar mountain structures. Some individuals propose that they are prototypes of genuine pyramids, while others argue that they are natural formations or even ancient burial sites. Nevertheless, Specialists have provided their insights on the issue, advising against excessive interpretation. Professor Zhou Qiuwen from Guizhou Normal University's School of Geography and Environmental Science was interviewed by Chinese media outlets. Zhou clarified that the mountain formations are natural occurrences and attributed their pyramid-like structure to the delicate craftsmanship of nature. Zhou explained that the rocks found in the Anlong pyramids are limestone structures that originated during the early to middle Triassic eras, dating back over 200 million years. The rocks were produced in a marine environment, when minerals dissolved in water underwent recrystallization to form the various layers observed today as a result of periodic fluctuations in temperature and geology. Zhou clarified that the conical shape of the mountains is due to the karst topography of the area, which is defined by the presence of rocks that can dissolve in water. These materials are eroded vertically by water, leading to the creation of separate units from the initial mass of rock. The pyramid shape is characterized by steep peaks and broad bases, which result from ongoing erosion, mostly affecting the upper layers while causing less erosion at the bottom. Zhou clarified that the block-like features of the rocks, which resemble man-made architecture, are a result of geological processes in karst landscapes. These processes disintegrate layered rocks into smaller blocks, giving them the appearance of man-made structures. Interestingly, many researchers have pointed out that in China, a country with a rich and diverse history, archaeological research is often shrouded in secrecy and tightly controlled by the government. China has a long history of dynastic rule, each era contributing to the vast tapestry of its cultural heritage. However, not all periods of history align with the current political narrative promoted by the current party. The government has a vested interest in presenting a cohesive and glorified version of history that supports its legitimacy and continuity. Archaeological discoveries that contradict or complicate this narrative pose a threat to the carefully curated historical image. Nationalism plays a crucial role in modern China. Archaeological findings that reveal a complex and diverse historical landscape, including periods of foreign influence or internal strife, can undermine this narrative. By controlling archaeological research, the government can ensure that the discoveries reinforce, rather than challenge, the nationalistic narrative. China imposes strict regulations on archaeological excavations, requiring all research to be approved and often conducted under the supervision of government-appointed authorities. Independent archaeologists, particularly those from foreign institutions, face significant hurdles in gaining access to sites. These restrictions are designed to prevent unauthorized discoveries and the dissemination of information that could disrupt the official historical narrative. Even when excavations are permitted, the Chinese government retains tight control over the dissemination of findings. Selective disclosure of archaeological results allows the government to highlight discoveries that support its narrative while suppressing or reinterpreting those that do not. This control extends to academic publications, media reports, and public exhibitions, ensuring a consistent portrayal of China's history. One area of speculation involves ancient technological advancements. Some researchers suggest that China may have uncovered evidence of advanced technologies or knowledge that predates current historical timelines. Revealing such information could disrupt the conventional understanding of technological progress and challenge established historical narratives. By controlling access to these sites, the government can prevent potentially paradigm-shifting discoveries from coming to light. Certain historical periods, particularly those involving defeat, invasion, or internal conflict, are sensitive topics. Archaeological evidence from these times might contradict the official narrative of a continuous, unbroken, and triumphant Chinese civilization. By restricting access to these sites, the government can avoid confronting uncomfortable aspects of its history that could weaken its authority. The pyramids, now recognized as monumental feats of ancient engineering and architecture, were not always understood as such. When these awe-inspiring structures were first encountered by explorers and scholars, many believed them to be natural formations rather than the product of human ingenuity. The earliest recorded encounters with pyramids can be traced back to ancient times, but even then, their purpose and origin were often misunderstood. During the Middle Ages and the early modern period, European explorers who encountered pyramids in Egypt, Mesoamerica, and other regions often viewed these structures through the lens of their limited geological and architectural knowledge. The imposing size and geometric precision of the pyramids led some to speculate that they were natural geological formations. This theory was partly due to the lack of understanding of ancient engineering techniques and the inability to comprehend how pre-modern societies could achieve such feats. One reason behind the initial belief in pyramids as natural formations was their resemblance to certain geological structures. Some pyramids, especially those that had eroded or become partially buried over time, looked like hills or natural rock outcrops. This similarity to natural landforms made it plausible to early observers that they were naturally occurring. In the early days of archaeology, the methodologies and tools available to researchers were rudimentary compared to today's standards. Without advanced techniques like radiocarbon dating, ground-penetrating radar, and detailed excavation methods, early explorers had limited means to investigate the true nature of these structures. This lack of sophisticated archaeological knowledge contributed to the misinterpretation of pyramids as natural features. The Eurocentric perspective of many early explorers also played a role in the misinterpretation of pyramids. The idea that ancient civilizations, particularly those outside of Europe, could construct such monumental and precise structures was often met with skepticism. This cultural bias led to the underestimation of the architectural and engineering capabilities of non-European societies. The shift from viewing pyramids as natural formations to recognizing them as man-made structures began with advancements in archaeological methods and the systematic study of ancient sites. The 19th and early 20th centuries saw significant progress in archaeology, driven by scholars like Flinders Petrie, who applied rigorous scientific techniques to the study of Egyptian pyramids. Detailed excavations revealed the construction methods and materials used in pyramid building. Archaeologists uncovered quarries, tools, workers' villages, and inscriptions that provided clear evidence of human involvement. These findings debunked the natural formation theory and demonstrated the sophisticated engineering skills of ancient builders. The integration of historical and cultural context into archaeological studies further solidified the understanding of pyramids as man-made structures. Scholars examined ancient texts, inscriptions, and oral traditions that described the construction and purpose of pyramids. This contextual approach provided a comprehensive view of the social, religious, and political significance of these structures. The realization that pyramids were the product of human effort and ingenuity had profound implications for our understanding of ancient civilizations. It highlighted the advanced engineering, organizational, and artistic skills of societies like the Egyptians, Maya, and Aztecs. This recognition challenged the prevailing Eurocentric views and acknowledged the contributions of diverse cultures to human progress. The study of ancient pyramids has inspired modern engineering and architecture. The precision and durability of these structures continue to amaze and influence contemporary builders and designers. Lessons learned from the construction techniques and materials used in pyramids have informed modern practices in various fields. Correcting the misconception of pyramids as natural formations has improved the accuracy of historical narratives. It has enabled a more nuanced understanding of the development of human societies, their technological advancements, and their cultural achievements. This shift has fostered a more inclusive and accurate portrayal of global history. The transformation from viewing pyramids as natural formations to recognizing them as man-made marvels reflects the evolution of archaeological knowledge and the importance of overcoming cultural biases. Advances in scientific techniques, detailed excavations, and a contextual understanding of ancient societies have revealed the true nature of these monumental structures. The recognition of pyramids as products of human ingenuity has deepened our appreciation for the achievements of ancient civilizations and has had lasting implications for both historical scholarship and modern engineering. According to researchers, Homo sapiens, commonly known as modern humans, are believed to have emerged approximately 200,000 years ago. However, it is important to note that only a fraction of that time, specifically 195,000 years, has been documented and recorded. This means that an astounding 97% of our history remains largely unknown and undocumented. Throughout this extensive period, numerous significant events have taken place, and countless civilizations have risen and fallen. Unfortunately, due to the lack of tangible evidence left behind, we are unable to fully comprehend the existence and influence of these civilizations on our ancestors. It is a profound realization that the vast majority of our past, spanning thousands of years, remains shrouded in mystery. With each passing century, countless civilizations and their achievements have faded into obscurity, leaving us with only fragments of their legacy. The untold stories and untapped knowledge of these civilizations have become lost chapters in the epic tale of human history. According to certain researchers, it has been suggested that civilizations from the past have left behind intriguing symbols, drawings, and markings, which can serve as valuable clues in unraveling their activities and way of life. However, in the realm of archaeology, some anomalous findings have emerged, challenging our established historical understanding. One such intriguing discovery is an enigmatic drawing that was unearthed within a cave situated in Japan. Delving into the depths of this topic, it becomes increasingly evident that these ancient civilizations possessed a language of symbols and depictions that carried profound meaning. These visual remnants provide a window into their world, allowing us to gain insights into their rituals, beliefs, communication systems, and perhaps even their artistic expressions. The British Exploring Society was among the pioneers in sharing this intriguing discovery on their social media accounts, prompting their followers to weigh in with their interpretations. Since then, numerous other social media platforms have also shared this discovery, leading many to observe the striking resemblance between the drawing and an advanced aircraft. Similar drawings have been unearthed in various corners of the globe, including ancient Egypt. The fact that different civilizations have depicted the same phenomenon has raised eyebrows and sparked curiosity. However, one of the challenges associated with these discoveries is their isolated nature, often leaving researchers with little contextual information to determine the time period in which the drawing was created or the exact intent of the artist. Despite this, there are groups of individuals who believe that these drawings actually portray enigmatic flying aircrafts. Proponents of this theory argue that such depictions do not align with anything else known from those time periods, as aircraft and aerial vehicles were not believed to exist during those eras. Interestingly, these peculiar objects appear in the detailed accounts of various ancient cultures, including the Egyptians, Indians, and Mayans. The ancient Indians referred to these objects as vimanas, and it is noteworthy that numerous ancient paintings and carvings depict these enigmatic entities. Japan has a long history of intriguing and enigmatic tales, and one such captivating story revolves around the Utsuro-bune phenomenon. This incident, which occurred in 1803, centers around an extraordinary event where an alluring young woman appeared on the shores of Japan aboard a peculiar, technologically advanced vessel. Inquisitive local fishermen were both fascinated and perplexed by her presence, as she seemed unable to communicate in the native Japanese language. Uncertain of how to handle this extraordinary situation, the fishermen eventually decided to release her back into the sea, allowing her to depart in her peculiar craft. Local legends surrounding this mysterious occurrence often allude to the woman being a visitor from a distant and unfamiliar land, as her appearance and demeanor were noticeably distinct from the local inhabitants. Some intriguing accounts even mention a captivating element. The woman was said to be clutching a mysterious box in her hands when she arrived ashore. The story of the Utsuro-bune serves as a testament to Japan's profound and long-standing fascination with extraordinary occurrences and their willingness to embrace the enigmatic and unknown. Though limited historical information exists, the legend continues to captivate the imagination, allowing for various interpretations and speculations about the origin and purpose of the woman's unusual vessel, as well as her own identity and intentions. This mesmerizing tale has become a notable part of Japan's folklore, embodying the enduring allure of the unknown and the ever-present desire to unravel its secrets. The legend surrounding Utsuro-bune is supported by 3 distinct historical references, all originating from the early 1800s. While these references provide different accounts of the incident, they share certain similarities. The story also mentions a series of investigations that were conducted, each yielding somewhat contrasting findings. Notably, one of the more recent investigations was carried out by Dr. Kazuo Tanaka from Gifu University of Tokyo. According to his research, the legends surrounding Utsuro-bune lack specific details regarding the boat's movement, but do highlight the peculiar fact that it remained motionless on the water. These findings shed light on the complexity and enigmatic nature of the legend, inviting further exploration and analysis. During their exploration of an ancient cave system in India, Dr. Bhagat and his team made yet another peculiar discovery. According to their findings, they stumbled upon an intriguing cave painting that bore a striking resemblance to an extraterrestrial being. Astonishingly, they estimated that this painting could potentially be over 10,000 years old. Dr. Bhagat expressed his keen interest in seeking the opinions of both NASA and the Indian Space Research Organization in regard to this astonishing find. This discovery has sparked the speculation among certain theorists that advanced ancient civilizations thrived thousands of years ago, leaving behind compelling evidence of their presence. For instance, some theorists highlight the intriguing stone figure found amidst a cluster of ancient Mayan ruins in Guatemala. This stone figure intriguingly depicts a remarkably accurate representation of a modern-day astronaut, skillfully crafted in stone. Naturally, this enigmatic stone figure has been at the center of numerous debates surrounding ancient civilizations. Some claim that the representation of these gods as advanced beings from distant planets is a testament to their superior knowledge and technology. It is believed that these ancient civilizations may have possessed a profound understanding of astronomy, space travel, and the existence of beings from other worlds. This remarkable discovery, along with the cave painting found in India, adds an intriguing layer to humanity's understanding of its ancient past. The search for answers and the interpretation of these mysterious relics continue to captivate the minds of both scientists and enthusiasts alike. The cave paintings, which can be found in close proximity to central India, offer an intriguing sight as they depict a variety of both human and animal figures. Astonishingly, these ancient artworks exhibit depictions of kangaroos, giraffes, and fish-like creatures, species that are not native to India. However, one particular painting caught the attention of the research team due to its uniqueness. Dr. Bhagat, a member of the team, provided an interesting perspective on this discovery, suggesting that it implies a possibility that humans in prehistoric times might have encountered or imagined beings from other planets. This notion, which continues to pique the curiosity of both people and researchers, is further reinforced by the presence of figures wearing spacesuits in some of the depicted scenes. While similar cave paintings have been discovered in the past, none have exhibited such intricate and detailed renderings until now. Remarkably, this specific region is also home to portrayals of flying saucers, equipment, and depictions of abduction, prompting amateur researchers to question why mainstream scientists have not pursued further investigation. They argue that the omission of these astonishing discoveries from our history books hinders our understanding of the past and maintains that such findings could provide invaluable insights. On the contrary, mainstream researchers have dismissed these depictions as mere drawings, lacking any historical significance. In a recent revelation, an esteemed quantum physicist, Deep Prasad, who holds the position of CEO at Reactive Q, an organization specializing in quantum technology, shared a captivating and thought-provoking account on the popular social media platform, X, also known as Twitter. This intriguing narrative quickly gained traction and attracted significant attention due to the nature of its content. Prasad, who is not only an industrial engineer but also a distinguished physicist, embarked upon a detailed and lengthy exposition, meticulously describing a remarkable encounter he had with 3 enigmatic entities that left him astounded and deeply perplexed. Exploring the depths of this narrative, we find ourselves venturing into an unfathomable realm where the boundaries of our understanding are tested. Dr. Prasad said the following: "It's Thanksgiving, and this is going to be a rather complicated post. It's also objectively not a good idea for me to write it, given every scientist has a target on their back in the UFO community, and given that I'm still a tech CEO. Near the beginning of 2019, February 1st, I had the most absurd, world-changing experience of my life. It happened in broad daylight at 9:40 in the morning in my home. More specific details will be for another time when I have a better safety net and can expand more. But to put it simply, I was paralyzed against my will, could not move, and saw 3 entities. These entities projected hundreds of thousands of sentences and paragraphs in a language that looked like Japanese and Egyptian hieroglyphics. I was terrified that I could barely move and was in complete disbelief at what was happening. I'd go back and forth between, convincing myself that I was having some sort of seizure or had fallen unconscious, and that there was no way this was happening, to downright fear, realizing that it all felt more real than reality. I was scared that I couldn't move, and was not in control of the situation, yet could think perfectly straight. At the same time, I was trying to make sense of the symbols. It was incredibly frustrating that I couldn't understand or translate them. The sentences and paragraphs would keep flipping rapidly, and the only English word I saw, at least 3 times, was the word DNA. This means that whoever or whatever was doing this, even if it's my brain, clearly understood English, but was choosing not to use it for everything. The image of my room would disappear when I raised my head a little, but it was hard to do that, and I would feel extremely nauseous. When it disappeared, I realized I was no longer in my room but somewhere else. When I would put my head back down, the image of my room would come back on again, and the symbols were back again. I decided to stop fighting what was happening, and for some reason no longer felt fear, but total fascination. The fear feeling would come back every now and then, but by this point, I was observing everything that was going on. The color of their suits, their size, their mannerisms, and the feeling that my mood was being rapidly cycled. After a certain point, one of them jumped on top of me and slowly walked towards my head. Right before it did this, it was on the ground near my TV, and displaying these beautiful golden holograms in the middle of its suit. These golden sparkles would jump around it too. Once it was on me, it walked towards me so slowly and cautiously, and I felt like I was being treated like an animal. I felt this weird light hitting the top of my head, and suddenly I got hit with the most blissful, euphoric feeling I have ever felt. I will try my best to describe it. It felt like the universe was sentient and aware of my existence. The feeling was of warmth and nostalgia. It was like a reminder that space is teeming with life, and that we're all related to each other by virtue of existing. I used the word oneness, which meant nothing to me before. After a few minutes of experiencing this, I got knocked out or lost consciousness, and woke up instantly. Not a minute had gone by since the experience started. I was heaving and looking around, completely shocked at what just happened. I couldn't believe no time had passed. I still didn't think what had happened could be authentic, but I question it less today than I did when it first happened. This all happened around an interesting time in my life. I had spent roughly 3 months studying unidentified objects, which is why I doubted the experience since I was biased. I was debating whether to delete all my tweets on the subject, because I was starting to think it was all one big scam, and I was disgruntled with the lack of hard evidence. This pushed me over the edge and made me double down on my obsession. I decided I needed to find more people who had these experiences, so I got in contact with the Toronto CE5 group. I booked a ticket and would meet Hal and Lou Elizondo the next month. I needed to know who these people were, what was going on, and if I had officially gone crazy. My life got weirder days after this experience. First of all, another thing that had happened a few weeks before this was someone passed away who was in my circle. We were not that close, but I looked up to him and related to him. Finding out about his passing had me traumatized, and it was affecting my work. Yet after the experience, I realized that feeling of oneness had not gone away. It was impossible to feel fear, and I literally could not feel fear no matter how hard I tried. I felt love for everyone, and it was very hard to make me mad. When I did, it wouldn't last very long and sizzle out fast. I was objectively the better version of myself. My beliefs in God changed almost instantly too. I went from an atheist to being spiritual. I started having dreams of seeing the inside of some of the UAPs we so commonly hear about. Mostly saucers and orbs, and some of my dream characters spoke only through telepathy. I had never in my life dreamed such things until this year. I'd experienced impossible electrical anomalies 2 weeks after it happened, and I started feeling unnerved because I felt I had lost my free will to an extent. I didn't like that this newfound fearlessness. unconditional love and so on were not coming from me. I considered getting an MRI done to see what parts of my brain were rewired. It was unnatural, but extremely good and liberating. If the whole world experienced this state of mind I was in, we would level up overnight. I am convinced all the hate, fear, and anger would disappear overnight from our society. After a couple of weeks, this feeling and state of mind dwindled down until I was back to my normal self again. Sometimes I wish I could go back to the way things were those first 2 weeks after the experience. I had my first sighting just weeks after this, and have had 4 in total since, 2 of which I have recorded. This farmer couldn't believe what he was seeing when he viewed his CCTV footage. As of right now, there's not much information to go by, and no news outlets picked up the story, which is odd because people can't seem to wrap their heads around what happened. Upon entering, his eyes widened in disbelief. There, amidst the hay and dust, lay a gaping hole in his barn roof. The wooden planks had splintered and shattered, leaving a trail of destruction in their wake. The farmer began to panic as he surveyed the damage, wondering how such a catastrophe could have taken place. He rushed back to the house, clambering up the staircase to reach his office. The farmer had installed a security camera system on his property years ago, mainly to keep an eye on potential thieves. Now, those cameras might hold the key to unraveling the mystery of the damaged barn. He accessed the CCTV footage on his computer. He watched the playback, and what he saw left him utterly bewildered. In the dimly lit footage from the previous night, a bizarre sequence of events unfolded before him. One of his prized cows could be seen falling through the roof, with many saying that the cow was falling at speed and that it was like it had been dropped from a great height. As if guided by some unseen force, the cow suddenly shot through the roof, damaging the entire area. One farmer commented that in all of their years of owning a barn, they've never had a cow appear on top of it. Others questioned how such a large cow would be able to climb on top of the roof. It wasn't long before online users began to put forward their own theories for why the cow fell through the roof. The fascination with unidentified objects has endured for decades, captivating the imagination of people worldwide. While unidentified object sightings have been reported in various forms and locations, one of the more curious aspects of these encounters involves the mysterious interest in cattle. Throughout the history of sightings, a peculiar pattern has emerged. Cattle frequently feature in close encounters. Witnesses have reported a range of incidents involving unidentified objects and cattle. Reports of cattle found under mysterious circumstances often involve peculiar surgical precision, with organs and body parts removed with apparent surgical expertise. These cases have raised questions about the motivations behind these actions. Witnesses have claimed to see mysterious objects hovering above pastures and cattle being lifted into the air or taken aboard the craft. Those who have seen the video suggested that the cow may have been taken by one of these objects and dropped through the roof. The claims sound outlandish, but for several decades, farmers have reported seeing mysterious lights above their pastures. In some cases, unidentified object sightings have coincided with reports of cattle displaying unusual behavior, such as panic, agitation, or disorientation. Witnesses have noted that these changes in behavior seem to coincide with the presence of unidentified objects. Cattle explorations have been occurring for many years, with documented cases dating back as far as the late 19th century. However, it was during the 1970s that a noticeable increase in reported incidents occurred, primarily in the United States. In the years that followed this surge, regular reports of such explorations began to emerge from various corners of the globe, indicating a widespread phenomenon. These incidents, characterized by unexplained and precise dissections of cattle, have continued to perplex and intrigue researchers and investigators alike. Despite extensive research, we are no closer to understanding what causes these mysterious explorations. The occurrence of this phenomenon, although it has never completely disappeared from public attention, seemed to have diminished to some extent. However, over the past 25 years, the situation has taken a different turn. In fact, if anything, these events appear to be transpiring with increasing frequency. It is evident that they are becoming more prevalent and noteworthy. This trend, which has been observed in recent times, points towards a significant shift in the frequency and significance of these incidents. During the summer of 1990 in Vancouver, Canada, the residents found themselves caught in a series of inexplicable occurrences that lasted the entire season. Unusual sounds, reminiscent of machine-like noises, pervaded the skies across the region, perplexing the local inhabitants who were unaccustomed to such auditory phenomena. Adding to the enigma, a resident even recounted witnessing the presence of an unfamiliar figure in a nearby field. These forms of explorations are not restricted solely to the continent of North America. Moreover, researchers in the United Kingdom have conducted investigations that shed light on the potential perpetrators. The phenomenon spans beyond geographical boundaries and has captured the attention of experts worldwide. These experts have delved deep into their research, aiming to uncover the underlying causes and individuals or entities responsible for these mysterious explorations. According to the Animal Pathology Field Unit, there is an overwhelming certainty that advanced beings are the culprits behind the incidents of animal explorations, particularly those that have persistently plagued the Welsh region. The Animal Pathology Field Unit has conducted extensive research and analysis, leaving no room for doubt regarding the involvement of mysterious entities in these incidents. Wales, in particular, has experienced a significant increase in unidentified object activity, which directly corresponds to the surge in cases of animal explorations. The meticulous investigations conducted proved that many of these incidents could not have been done by humans. Investigator Phil Hoyle, a seasoned expert with years of experience in dealing with such cases, refutes the notion that these instances of animal explorations are linked to rituals. According to Hoyle, the level of precision and sophistication observed in these injuries indicates the potential involvement of advanced beings, the military, or perhaps even a combination of both. This suggests that there may be an underlying agenda or purpose behind these incidents. Over a span of 6 months, from 2011 to 2012, numerous well-known show horses experienced acts similar to those seen in cattle. Instances of these incidents were reported from various locations across the United Kingdom, sparking a wide range of theories. Speculations ranged from sinister rituals to clandestine government experiments, leaving the public perplexed and searching for answers. In the city of Shrewsbury, approximately a year before the present time of this account in 2010, farmers encountered a rather perplexing phenomenon. They witnessed strange occurrences involving their livestock, especially sheep. According to their reports, peculiar entities or objects would suspend themselves in mid-air above the animals, emitting a laser beam downwards onto them. During a particularly active phase of these unusual explorations, numerous individuals claimed to have observed strange orange lights in the sky. Several theories and hypotheses have emerged to explain the UFO-cattle connection, though none have been definitively proven. These theories offer intriguing possibilities for why unidentified objects might theoretically be interested in cattle. Some speculate that advanced beings, if indeed behind these sightings, might be conducting biological experiments involving Earth's flora and fauna. Cattle, as a large and easily accessible terrestrial species, could be a subject of interest for such studies. Cattle have been subjected to extensive genetic modification and breeding by humans for centuries. UFO interest in cattle could relate to advanced civilizations' curiosity about our genetic experiments and breeding practices, leading them to study these domesticated animals. In hypothetical scenarios, where advanced beings are facing resource scarcity on their home planets, they might consider terrestrial species, including cattle, as potential sources of sustenance or materials. This theory, however, raises ethical and logistical questions about the logistics of such an endeavor. Cattle grazing areas often cover vast expanses of land. Mysterious sightings near cattle ranches might be attributed to the extraterrestrial interest in monitoring environmental changes, possibly related to ecological concerns or Earth's shifting climate. Cattle hold significant cultural and symbolic value in many human societies. Mysterious sightings involving cattle might be part of extraterrestrial attempts at communication or interaction with our species, acknowledging the significance we attribute to these animals. Encounters involving cattle could serve a psychological purpose, potentially aimed at studying human reactions, belief systems, or societal responses to unusual events. This theory suggests that cattle serve as a proxy for human subjects in experiments. It is essential to approach the unidentified object and cattle connection with scientific skepticism and acknowledge that the evidence supporting these theories is largely anecdotal and circumstantial. Many sightings involving cattle lack definitive proof or concrete scientific data to establish causality or correlation. Although the most popular stories surrounding advanced phenomena tend to focus on the topics of sightings of mysterious crafts or supernatural occurrences featuring humanoid creatures, many researchers often forget that some of the strongest pieces of evidence of intervention appears to center around the disappearances of cattle and subsequent damages to livestock. The earliest known written record of bizarre animal surgeries and sudden disappearances of a large number of livestock comes from an official document dated sometime during the early 1600s, when an investigator for the court of James I of England claimed that impossible to explain mass expirations of sheep were being recorded all across London and nearby shires. It was originally believed that the sudden expirations of the sheep could have been caused by neighbouring farms competing in market production, alongside hungry travellers that were committing theft as they travelled throughout London, of which was the most heavily populated region during the 1600s. However, when the investigations took place, evidence was found that seemed to reject the original hypothesis. According to the court investigator, the sheep were found to have expired through causes that were otherwise impossible to attribute to human activity. Their organs, meat, and fleece remained untouched, with only evidence of possible tallow removal, and blood having been completely drained from the animal with no spillage. Even more difficult to explain was the sheer number of sheep that suddenly expired in what farmers believed would have been over the course of only a few hours. The investigator wrote that in some cases, there were more than 100 sheep that suddenly expired, and no evidence of footprints or tracks that could point towards a group of people having perpetrated the crime. When the investigator asked around local regions that were at the epicenter of the series of sheep disappearances and expirations, many attributed the sight of brilliant fireworks nearby to have been the possible cause. Some believed that the fireworks could have scared the sheep and caused them to pass away in fright, whereas others believed that the lights they had seen in the sky could have had a more sinister purpose. The court ended the investigation by saying that around the city of London and some of the shires adjoining, whole expirations of sheep have been made, in some places the number reaching as high as 100. The phenomenon would continue for several decades before ending entirely. The most interesting aspect of these sheep disappearances seem to bear remarkable resemblance to modern-day cattle disappearances and possible advanced intervention. When researching mass livestock expirations, it became obvious that cattle disappearances and surgeries are a fairly recent development, with the first recorded instances beginning during the 1800s to modern day. Many believe that the sudden change of livestock being targeted, from sheep to now cattle, appears to match directly with the world market and primary source of meat production during these times. When sheep disappearances, surgeries, and unexplained expirations were occurring en masse, the main meat export around the world centered around sheep populations. It's only been over the last couple of centuries that the role of cattle has slowly changed for the purpose of meat consumption. During the 1600s and late 1700s, when recorded instances of sheep expirations were occurring, cattle were predominantly used for labor and secondarily used for milk production. So, what do you make of these mysterious events? Be sure to leave your questions and answers in the comment section below and help us to grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.